How do you build a legacy that creates opportunities for generations to come? This week, we're exploring how a new generation of innovators is answering that question. And they aren't just seeking a place within existing structures, they are building entirely new ones. And it's about a legacy of access and turning challenges into breakthroughs and creating a future where the next generation has a strong foundation to build on. For generations, a common path to success was seen as getting a seat at the table, gaining access to the rooms, networks, and systems where decisions are made. But for many, this path presents significant hurdles. Entrepreneurs of color have long faced barriers to entry. A lack of capital is a huge and persistent challenge. That structural inequities have created gaps in generational knowledge and limited access to the powerful networks that are often the real currency in business. Innovators have been encouraged to work twice as hard, often to prove their worth in systems that may not fully recognize their potential. The result is a world where brilliant ideas can be starved of the oxygen they need to grow. But this is not just a story of disadvantage. It's a story of perspective. Trying to force inclusion into systems that weren't built with everyone in mind can be like trying to plant a forest in a desert. This is the analogy. You might get a few trees to grow, but you will spend tremendous energy just fighting the environment. And this constant effort can be exhausting. It can lead to burnout and force compromises on a vision. So what happens when the focus shifts from fitting into the old models to creating a new one? What happens when we decide to build new platforms with new rules? And that's where real transformation begins. So rather than focusing solely on gaining access, a new generation of innovators is building entirely new ecosystems, and they're creating intentional self-sustaining platforms that provide access not as a favor but as a feature. Now take the Black Wall Street, which is a digital platform co-founded by actor and entrepreneur Hill Harper. Its mission is to capture the spirit of the original Greenwood district in Tulsa by creating a modern digital hub for Black economic power. The platform includes a digital wallet aiming to build an infrastructure that allows Black communities to circulate capital and build wealth on their own terms. In the original Black Wall Street, a single dollar was said to circulate 36 to 100 times, sometimes for over a year within the community. And now the new Black Wall Street aims to digitize that very cycle of prosperity. And this is not just happening in the US. In Canada, we have the Black Innovation Fellowship, BIF, which was created to address the steep challenges Black entrepreneurs face. It's a partnership between Toronto Metropolitan University's DMZ Incubator and other partners. BIF provides tech startups led by Black entrepreneurs with highly customized programming, mentorship, and crucial connections to industry and capital. It was developed in recognition that Black founders faced unique barriers from accessing capital to having fewer publicly recognized role models to turn to for advice. BIF is an ecosystem for the architects of the future, a community dedicated to rewriting the narrative of Black entrepreneurs. And we have so many examples like that in Canada, like the BIPOC Foundation, BWVA, and then BEBC. These platforms aren't just businesses, they're systems. They're proof that when old doors are hard to open, you don't just build a new door, you build a new foundation for others to stand on. And for so many entrepreneurs, the pressure to succeed is immense. This often fuels a relentless hustle culture, which is a glorification of the 24/7 grind. But hustle, by its very nature, is about short-term survival. It's also about the next client, the next invoice, the next round of funding. Legacy, on the other hand, is about building something that lasts for generations. The hustle mindset, let's look at it. It leads to straight burnout, a problem that's especially sharp for founders who feel the weight of representing their entire community. And then the new architects of access are intentionally moving away from this model entirely, understanding that legacy is a marathon that requires sustainability. So this philosophy is being put into practice. Look at BKR Capital, which is Canada's first institutionally backed Black-led venture capital fund. It was funded in 2021. The firm was built to invest in promising Black founders in the technology space instead of forcing founders into a desperate short-term hustle for funding from traditional sources. BKR Capital provides transformational early-stage capital, and its objective is to find these opportunities often missed by the wider market and to build a more inclusive business ecosystem. This focus on providing patient strategic capital is a direct move against hustle culture, and it's about making sure the people building these systems have the resources to build a true legacy of wealth and well-being. Now here's the thing. This spirit of building new systems isn't new at all. It's a powerful tradition born from a history of facing exclusion. And throughout history, when Black communities were excluded from mainstream economies, they didn't just survive, they innovated. And so after the Civil War, when segregation laws created impassable barriers, Black entrepreneurs built their own self-sustaining economy hubs out of sheer necessity. And these were not just business ventures, they were declarations of resilience. And they proved that constraint is often the mother of invention. And now today's innovators are just continuing that legacy with modern tools. So take Jermaine Craig, the founder of Quanda. Quanda is a platform that modernizes the age-old Afro-Caribbean practice of collective finance. It's also an African practice called Unsusu or Ajo. So it's a collection pot, and it connects the African diaspora directly with grassroots projects on the continent, allowing them to fund and support local entrepreneurs. Greg's view is that traditional aid organizations often fail to trust or understand the needs of African entrepreneurs. So Quanda offers a direct alternative, and it turns the constraint of being overlooked into a strength, creating a direct, transparent, and community-driven funding model that's already helped deliver food supplies and grants. So from the traffic signal invented by Garrett Morgan to the GPS technology in your phone that was built on the mathematical models of Dr. Gladys West, Black innovation has always powered the Americas forward, often from the margins. And the current movement is a continuation of that story. Innovators are demonstrating that facing exclusion from a system can provide a unique perspective to see its limitations and the freedom to imagine something new and better. So this conversation is just getting started. The world is being re-architected right now by innovators who are choosing to build new avenues for success. What innovator, past or present, inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if this message resonates with you, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button, and you won't want to miss where we go next. This narrative is changing, and for a long time, success was often defined by how one fits into existing structures or powers. But true impact isn't just about finding a seat at the table. It's about having the vision and courage to build new tables, creating more seats for everyone. So what we're witnessing is a move from individual ambition to collective empowerment. And it's the understanding that one success story is inspiring, but a system that creates thousands of success stories is transformative. And the legacy being built today is not just about money. It's about creating pathways, sharing knowledge, and building a world where the next generation start from a position of strength. A world where everyone has a foundation to build their own legacy upon. And that is the promise of Black innovation. And it's a future worth building.